Margaret discovered these mistakes at 74 and completely transformed her health trajectory. The fifth mistake affects 9 out of 10 people watching this. Margaret's wake-up call. Margaret Sullivan's story begins like thousands of other seniors who believe they have aging figured out. This 74-year-old retired nurse from Portland had spent her career caring for others and thought she understood healthy aging better than most. Margaret followed medical advice religiously, never missed her quarterly appointments, and took her prescribed medications exactly as directed. Her medicine cabinet was organized with military precision, each bottle labeled with detailed instructions she had written herself. She maintained what seemed like an active lifestyle through daily gardening sessions and prided herself on being the ideal patient who kept detailed health journals. Her daily routine appeared picture-perfect. Margaret woke at 6 a.m., took her morning medications with a full glass of water, ate whole grain cereal and fruit for breakfast, then spent hours tending to her elaborate vegetable garden. She grew tomatoes, peppers, herbs, and leafy greens, often spending time on her knees weeding and harvesting. Neighbors frequently complimented her energy and independence. Margaret drove herself to appointments, managed a household, and helped care for her 95-year-old mother twice weekly. From the outside, she was aging gracefully and doing everything right. But during what was supposed to be a routine annual physical in January 2025, Margaret's world crumbled. Her new primary care physician, Dr. Richardson, decided to run a series of advanced blood and memory tests that went far beyond Margaret's usual basic checkup. The results painted a terrifying picture that contradicted everything Margaret believed about her health. Her inflammatory markers were dangerously elevated, her muscle mass showed significant loss typical in at-risk seniors, and her cognitive processing speed had dropped to levels seen in patients with early dementia. Most shocking of all, her cardiovascular risk assessment indicated she had less than a 40% chance of surviving the next 5 years without major intervention. Dr. Richardson delivered the devastating news with clinical directness. The doctor explained that despite Margaret's best efforts, her current trajectory pointed toward rapid health decline, likely hospitalization within 18 months, and statistical probability of death before age 79. A wave of fear washed over her as Dr. Richardson outlined how her seemingly healthy lifestyle was actually masking serious underlying problems that routine medical care had completely missed. The doctor emphasized that Margaret's case was not unusual and represented a growing crisis among seniors who believe they are managing their health effectively. Margaret left that appointment in shock and denial that lasted for weeks. She had dedicated her nursing career to understanding health and disease, yet had somehow missed the warning signs in her own body. The cognitive dissonance was overwhelming. How could someone with her medical background and careful attention to health recommendations be facing such a grim prognosis? Margaret began questioning everything she thought she knew about aging and started researching beyond the standard medical recommendations that had guided her for years. What Margaret discovered during months of intensive research revealed systematic gaps in how modern medicine approaches senior healthcare. She learned that routine medical care often focuses on managing existing conditions, rather than preventing the cascade of problems that lead to premature death. Margaret realized that her quarterly doctor visits, while thorough by conventional standards, were missing critical factors that determined whether seniors thrived or declined rapidly. The standard tests and recommendations she had been following religiously were addressing symptoms, rather than root causes of age-related health deterioration. Margaret's investigation revealed that medical professionals often overlook the interconnected nature of aging processes, treating each system in isolation rather than understanding how nutrition, movement, sleep, social connections, and cellular health work together to determine longevity. She discovered that many seniors, including healthcare professionals like herself, fall into predictable patterns that accelerate aging despite appearing to follow medical advice correctly. The research showed that conventional approaches to senior health often fail to address the specific biological changes that occur after age 70, leaving people vulnerable to rapid decline even when they believe they are doing everything right. The more Margaret researched, the more she understood that her story was representative of a larger crisis affecting millions of seniors. Despite unprecedented medical technology and knowledge about aging, most seniors continue to experience rapid health decline in their 70s and 80s. Margaret realized that the disconnect between medical advances and actual health outcomes for seniors had created a dangerous gap where people like herself could follow all recommendations yet still face premature death. Margaret's transformation began when she identified 5 critical mistakes that were accelerating her aging process despite her best efforts to stay healthy. She discovered that her medication regimen had created unexpected interactions that were draining her energy and affecting her cognitive function. Her diet, which she had considered exemplary, was actually promoting chronic inflammation that damaged her cardiovascular system and accelerated muscle loss. Her gardening activities, while beneficial, were not counteracting the 12 hours she spent sitting each day reading, watching television, and managing household tasks. Most surprisingly, Margaret learned that her social isolation since retirement was literally shortening her life expectancy by affecting her immune system and stress hormones in ways that no medication could counteract. Finally, she discovered that specific nutrient deficiencies, created by both her medications and age-related changes in absorption, were undermining every other health effort she made. These 5 factors were working together to accelerate her aging process despite her careful attention to conventional health advice. Margaret's journey from denial to understanding mirrors what millions of seniors face as they navigate the gap between what healthcare promises and what actually determines longevity after age 70. Her discoveries expose systematic blind spots in how we approach senior health, creating a situation where well-intentioned people can follow medical advice perfectly yet still face rapid decline. Margaret's story demonstrates that transformation is possible at any age, but only when we address the real factors that determine whether seniors thrive or become statistics in a growing crisis that affects nearly everyone.